the can says it takes about 15 minutes for that stuff to dry, in my experience, it usually takes a few hours for it to actually air out. And even though I really want to get started finishing up the rest of my piece, I don't really want my room smelling like chemicals. So in the meantime, while I wait for the smell to go away, I'm gonna work on one of my New Year's resolutions, drawing in my sketchbook more. So a little bit ago, I said that I was gonna be starting a challenge where I draw 50 heads, 50 hands, and 50 poses. And I've drawn quite a few heads, a few poses, and no hands. So I think I'm gonna draw a few hands today. Also, I got a new mic, it's wireless, and I think I'm gonna be testing it out a little bit today in this video. Okay, does this work? I think so. It looks like it does. I got this because sometimes when I'm talking and doing art, I get really quiet and you can't really hear me. And to make up for that, I've been kind of yelling or raising my voice a lot at the camera. This way I can speak a little bit more normally and hopefully it records everything I'm saying. Does this look good? I feel like that looks kind of silly. I also want something like this because I do want to start making videos where I'm farther away from the camera and using a mic that's attached to it and using this shotgun mic that's been attached to it works, but it doesn't allow me to get super far away. I think I like this. I think this works. I don't mind having it right here. Okay, let's draw some hands. I decided to try drawing these hands in colored pencil as an extra challenge. Drawing them in colored pencil is a challenge because it basically means that I can't really erase any mistakes. Usually, hands are pretty easy for me, so I wasn't too worried, but I had forgotten that I haven't done a hand study in well over a year, and even though I remember them being easy, I was actually quite rusty. I don't think these hands are terrible, but for me, I see a pretty obvious difference between these hands and the hands I used to draw. So I haven't really been practicing drawing hands on their own, mostly because I've always been really confident at drawing hands. The last few that I drew or painted all came out pretty well. I've always just assumed that I'll always be fine at drawing hands, but judging from these sketches, I'm wrong. This is a really good reminder that art is a muscle and I need to be regularly training and strengthening it. And with that being said, I'm gonna go work on my other piece now. Today I'm going to be working on the background of this thing, and the first step in that process is cutting out the square background that I've already traced out in pencil. Last time I did this, I didn't use a cutting mat, and the paper underneath didn't get one scratch on it. This time though, my knife was very clearly cutting through the next page. So, I broke out the cutting mat. Okay, that was the hard part. Now, time for some fun. I flipped down the front to see how things were looking, and I really liked the scribble effect that I was getting. But I did feel that there could be more of a gradient. So I flipped it back up and slowly added layer after layer of my blue pastel until I finally had a gradient that I liked. And then I just had to add back in the scribbles. I had a scribble here and a scribble there, and then the piece was done. I ended my night last night by spray fixing the blue, so it's all ready to go. There are like 3 more things I want to do with this piece. Let's do it. So the last thing that I want to do is mount my artwork inside of this frame. To do this, I'm going to have to cut down my artwork so that it can fit properly. Now that I had the front piece at the right size, I could start working on the back. The back piece didn't need to be nearly as big as the front. It just needed to be big enough to fill the negative space and small enough so that I could mount it to the back. Last time I did this, I used double-sided tape, and you guys kindly let me know that I was destroying my piece. This time, I'm using linen hinging tape. It has a water-based adhesive and is non-destructive. With the back secured, I could finally start mounting the finished piece to the frame. Okay, it's the morning now. We are now on our third outfit change. I'm holding it like this. This time I've hooked it up to my pen. I think it's kind of fun. It's cool. Makes it feel like a microphone. But I can't really hold it too far away from my face, otherwise you can't hear me. So, gotta keep it like this. I might regret this. We'll see. Anyway, look, it's done. I did it. I think I've been working on this on and off for a month, maybe a couple months. I don't know. After I mounted it last night, I realized that I mounted it crooked, and then I took it off and put it back on and mounted it crooked again and repeated that maybe like 5 times. The whole thing took like an hour. So I was pretty tired by the end and just decided to go to bed. And now here we are. It's 8 o'clock in the morning and there's finally light in my room. And it feels good. It feels good. It's a new day. The piece is done. I'm really happy with it. I think it looks great. The only thing that I have an issue with is that I think it's too small. I started this piece a few videos ago, and the whole reason that I started this piece was to make something that would fit inside of this frame. And I did that. This fits inside the frame. But I think with the technique that I was exploring here with doing this like scribbled floating background thing for the artwork, I think it works better for bigger pieces. My entire way through this process, I just kept finding that I wish this piece was bigger. When I was doing the details on the cowboy, when I was drawing the flowers, when I was doing anything with this piece, I just wished it was bigger. I think that's the thing I'm finding with these more traditional mediums, especially the more messy ones like pastels. It just feels better to make things bigger. It's easier to get details, it's easier to get that more soft pastel look. It's just better, I think. I still really like this piece. I think it's cool. But yeah, something I've learned going forward is if I want to work with a messy medium, I got to make it bigger, which is fun. I want to make bigger things. I want to make big, huge things. So, that just kind of gives me more of a reason to. Anyway, I still love this piece. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to start the next thing, whatever that will be. For now, though, I think I desperately need to go practice drawing some hands, so I'm going to go do that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.